Welcome to my very first live stream watch along commentary of a film, one of my personal favorites, Friday the 13th, the final chapter, which incidentally was my very first Friday the 13th movie that I had ever seen. And again, with that, happy Friday the 13th, everybody. For all those who are joining us here, hopefully you're having a good Friday. I know I am, and I'm about to. Jeremy, how's it going, man? Sorry for a little bit longer of an intro there, but got started just a tad bit late. And then just give it a couple more minutes, let people hopefully filter in. Looks like right now I'm the only one here, which is cool. I'll sit here and chill and watch this movie by myself. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too, man. So how this will work is I'm not actually going to show the movie on the screen, um, because of copyright and shit. Because YouTube and all their guidelines. I will show little bits every now and then, but the object is that people at home, you can watch along. I'm sure a lot of you that will be watching have your own copies of this, and you just put it in, whether it's on the computer or on your DVD. You just pop it in, set it to the time code, and then we'll both start this at the same time and watch it together. Notice you. It's hard not to notice you, Jeremy. Get my beverage opened here. What's going on, Tippy Tip? Your favorite's part 7. That's my number 3. I really like part 7. A lot of people, there's a lot of people that don't, and I can understand why, but I've always really liked part 7. Make sure everything is good to go here. Looks like we're getting more people filtering in, so we'll get this started here. And like I said, if you have a copy of Friday the 13th, final chapter, put it in your DVD player, put it on your computer, wherever you got it, and set it to the time code at 6 seconds. That should be the screen that you see. And I will click off of it here because fuck YouTube's copyright. But without further ado, we're going to get right into this. Jason Goes to Hell. You're a fan of Jason Goes to Hell? Well, different strokes for different folks. I think that movie's hot garbage, but as long as you like it, that's all that matters. All right, everybody, if you have your DVD set to 6 seconds, and again, this is your screen, we will hit play in 3, 2, 1, and hit play now. Hey, what's going on, Francis? It's Saturday where you're at? So Saturday the 14th. That's all right. We'll rewind it back for you. Fly Attractor, 6 and X tie for you for your favorites. 6, definitely. X, But that's cool. Oh yeah, the Necronomicon. Yeah, the inclusion of Freddy in that definitely. I mean, that was definitely a good cliffhanger to end on. I have to say the opening to this movie with Paul's recap, it might be my favorite opening in the whole franchise. Just saying that right now. It gives you everything you need to know without actually having needing to watch the first three. Oh, here comes Alice picking up the machete and off with her head. I'm going to try not to get too lost in the movie here. I have a bad habit of just focusing on watching instead of talking. Part 9 is the best Jason for you? Definitely one of the better looks. Um, Definitely one of the cooler Jasons when he's on screen. You know, for the 10 minutes he's on screen when he's not a little demon slug friggin' thing, whatever the hell. Oh, there goes dude in the wheelchair. Just to clue you guys in, we are. He can't be alive. We are right here. Love the mask exploding there. It's so cool. All right, you still got time, Francis. I'll try to get you a time code whenever you get it in. I do have to say too, like this score by Harry Manfredini. Like I wish I could actually put this on screen and have us all experience this at the same time. But the score by Harry Manfredini in this movie might be my favorite. Um, as a matter of fact, showcase off this. I mean, it's right there. The vinyl, just it's just awesome. Love the '80s esque titles. Yeah, you're talking about what are you talking about? '80s esque titles, uh, TV. My mind's all over the place. Love the '80s TV esque titles. What do you mean exactly by that? Are you talking about in the movie, the channel? I'm like so kind of geeked and amped up here. I'm not as relaxed as I normally should be for this. I get nervous every time I go live in front of a camera. I'm trying not to fuck shit up. And here we are, opening of the movie, right on a helicopter, looking down at the aftermath of part 3. Now, for those of you watching, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the only film in the franchise that returns to the setting of the previous film, like the where it was actually filmed. Obviously, it's all at Crystal Lake and all that sort of stuff, but this returns to the actual Higgins Haven and the barn from part 3. I don't think any other film in the franchise returned to the same actual shooting location. Oh, just remember seeing the old CRT to scratchy static TV rips. No, I hear you, man. There's a, it's like vinyl. There's a certain warmth and coziness to it. And there's Jason, and there is a small Ziploc evidence bag for that axe. Jason's just tired. They're covering him up. He's just napping. But we can already tell right from the jump, just the style and the tone of this movie is drastically different than part three. Part three was a little more, I don't want to say silly, but it seemed to lean a little bit more into humor. Uh, and the cinematography was too bright. And I've heard that's because they had to do that because of the 3D at the time. They couldn't do the cinematography they wanted. But this one definitely, uh, just has a much darker and sinister tone to it. Dare I say? I would say even darker than parts one and two. Joseph Zito's direction is really good in this movie. Yeah, that opening with that when a helicopter when it flies away, I like that too. It is very it's eerie because all this activity and then it just fades to quiet and it's coming up. It's coming up here shortly because there goes the ambulances. And yeah, it's just leaving Higgins Havens in the dust and just silence. Yeah, that is just unnerving, very unnerving. And we see families there. I've always wondered whose family that is. If it's somebody completely unrelated to what happened in part three, or if that was like, one of the kids from part three, one of their family members finding out. Part six is your favorite. That's my favorite too. And I do agree. Best Tommy. Probably not my, if I'm being biased, probably my favorite final girl. Uh, I definitely think she's the hottest. And yeah, Alice Cooper. Yeah. You don't know shit about these movies, but you're supporting me. Well, I appreciate the support. And dude, it's never too late. These movies are cheap. Just go. There's a bunch of them. I think like on. I think is it Paramount or Peacock? One of the streaming services has a shit ton of these. Uh, just pop one in. They're a lot of fun. Can't take it too seriously. And another '80s trope in about 5 seconds. And this is where we're at. It's always like I remember being like obviously when I was a kid, young adult male being mesmerized by what was on that screen. It's just so weird. It's like as an adult, like I don't know why he would. I get it to a degree, putting it on there to try to like maybe get himself up to the occasion, maybe get her in the mood. But later on, when she leaves, he just sits there and watches it. So, like, he's such a sleazy perv. Um, but it's funny. But I've always thought that's weird that he's just watching it. I don't know, just the weird aerobics thing. You have okay, you have all that with your AT&T. That's good. Late night exercise TV shows. Yeah, it's either it was on TV. Well, yeah, it would have been TV back in those days. They didn't have fucking big boxy VHS or beta. And back to the aerobics. And this is where I would like to get it on with any female in a morgue right next to a dead body, especially the dead body of a mass murderer. You know, nothing gets me horned up quicker. And it's Christmas. Holy Jesus, goddamn. Holy Jesus, jumping Christmas shit. I love that line. It's so great. Good night, Axel. You have mortician friends and they can be different. I think it requires a certain mentality for anything like that, whether it's working in a morgue or like being a coroner or like a mortician at a funeral home. Yeah, it's definitely a different breed of cat that has to do that kind of job. I know I couldn't do it. And Axel slides Jason in to the refrigerator and oops, didn't close it. Imagine the movie we would have gotten had that locked. I think Jason would have just sat in there and just chilled. And bye bye, Axel. That is a these two kills here at the beginning of this movie. I mean, just Savini, just chef's kiss. I especially love that one with Axel snapping his head around. And there goes the nurse right about now. Yeah, this Jason is one of my favorites. Definitely, in my opinion, it's a far cry from the brutalness, or I'm sorry, the brutalness in this movie is a far cry from part three. And I don't know if that's just because of the directorial choice to keep him more kind of off camera, where you don't see him a lot, um, which is a kind of weird considering you saw him a lot at the end of the third movie. You would think you'd see him more, but I like that choice to kind of keep him off camera. Makes him scarier. Oh, and there's Corey Feldman. Maybe one of you guys know out there, was this his first movie? Seems like it would have been. Yes, definitely. Less is more. No, I subscribe to that wholeheartedly. Not to get into Halloween because we're talking about Friday the 13th here, but that's, I think, some of the problems of the later Halloween movies is that they show too much of Michael. And same with Friday the 13th. They show too much of the killer to where he becomes the main character and it loses the mystique and the scariness of him. And the other characters become secondary. And here we go. The introduction of our teenagers, body count fodder for this movie. And there's George McFly. And there's Teddy. This movie does really have, I think, one of the best cast ensembles in the franchise. Uh, there's not really a cast member, or there's not really a character that I think is so annoying you want to see them die. Uh, they're all just really for the type of movie this is, obviously grading on a curve. They're really actually well-rounded characters. I like them a lot, and I kind of feel bad when they start getting picked off one by one. It says you're a dead fuck. I mean, the only thing I will say is that these teenagers all look like they're almost 30, or at least mid 20s. But that was typical for the time being, or that was typical for the day. Um, but I love the dialogue too. The dialogue doesn't feel unnatural. It feels like good dialogue and realistic dialogue that young people would be having. And now that I think about it, there's nothing specifically that says that they're teenagers. They're just young people. Now that I think about it, so they could be age appropriate. Oh, you got it re-downloaded. Nice, excellent. If you get it up, the time code is at 19 minutes right now. Oh, the hitchhiker. Hey, honey, you got a sister? um, I love it. Gets me every time. And she's just sitting, chilling, eating a banana. Always kind of feel bad for her too. She's just passing through. Just wrong place, wrong time, and you get got. And there she goes. Dead. Yeah, it's definitely a welcome return for Tom Savini with this franchise. You wish they would release the full uncut versions of these films from what they can salvage. Now, I'm not too familiar with the uncut version of this with Final Chapter. Um, and by the way, welcome in, D Gulag. Welcome aboard. Uh, I know there was an unused ending, or I know there was an original ending filmed to this with the mother that was really weird and kind of trippy, nightmarish. And I'm kind of glad they reshot it to the ending that we got in the film, but I'd have to dig a little deeper. I didn't know there was like an uncut version to this film. I know there's one for part 7, infamously part 7. The MPAA chopped the hell out of that. And there's George McFly, uh, resigning himself to the fact that he's just gonna be celibate and just masturbate forever. Which, I mean, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, the extended. Oh, they're all on YouTube. Okay, I'll have to check them out. This actress who plays uh, Sam, the one on the left, she was recently at a horror convention here in Albuquerque, and I wish I had the money to go and actually get an autograph and a selfie with her. I just didn't have it. Too many other people at that convention. Um, but yeah, she's she's definitely definitely gorgeous. Yeah, we're glad to have you aboard. You jumped on the moving train. Once around the lake. Now, if I could stop the film there, if I remember correctly, that newspaper has the front page of it is in reference to the events. Was it the third movie from the previous one, or was it part two? And we get Corey Feldman, Pervin here. I mean, who wouldn't? Let's be real. Yeah, this is the one thing this movie does so well. It takes its time to build these characters. So you get to spend time with these characters, like I said before. And I think that's the difference between like part four, part six, and some of the earlier Friday the 13th, where the characters were more important than Jason was. Um, Jason really didn't start becoming the focal point until part six. But even then, they still spent a lot of time with the characters. I think it's not until you get like to part seven and part eight where they just kind of are just throwing people out there just into a meat grinder for Jason. And you really don't care either way. The only ones, at least in my opinion, that you care for, like in part seven, are Nick and Tina, and his mom, or and Tina's mom. Uh, yeah, no, I agree. The pacing's spot on in this movie. Oh, excuse me. And enter the Doublemint twins. When Jason's on screen, it costs money. Kids doing drama is cheap. No, that is, you got a point. Just having kids do kids things in front of a camera, it's a lot less expensive than makeup and effects and all this other stuff that comes with it. So, uh, you might have a valid point there. At least it was back in the day, and back when they cared about such things. I don't think they really give a shit nowadays. And this part with holy shit, why is her name uh Sarah? I think that's her name. When I was younger, when I first saw this, this part, I thought she was gonna get it. I thought this is where she was gonna die because you just think she's walking off by herself, and that's where she's gonna get it. But nope, they save it for later. Oh, the infamous skinny dipping scene. You know, I never knew that. And now that you mention it, I can like now I can't unhear it when I hear them talk. Like in my mind's hearing, I can hear their voices, and I'll have to pay attention to it later. But yeah, now that you mention it, I could definitely hear them trying their best to feign an American accent. Oh, you don't like Sarah? She's the little shy virgin. Uh, which is why she dies at the end because she gives it up. Maybe if she didn't get down and dirty, maybe she would have lived. We all know these movies are morality tales. This is what learned me at a young age that you don't go in the woods and fuck around because there's some murderous psychopath that's just out there waiting. Party tonight. I've always loved that line from Tommy. Some pack of patootsies, huh? And here in a minute, we're going to be introduced to what should have been the coolest character in this movie. And he would have been the coolest character in this movie if he didn't go out like a punk bitch at the end. Which, when we get to it, yeah, it's one of my favorite moments in the entire franchise. God, I look at that old car and I just think of all the non-gas mileage it gets. Probably gets like 2 miles a gallon. Now, I will admit, uh, this part here with Sam, I will agree that she's annoying because she's so like prudish and has just a stick up her ass and doesn't want to have fun. I mean, for fuck's sake, just get in there. Even if you're still just wearing your underwear, just jump in. Fuck it. Oh no, what happened to Sam? Did Jason get her? Okay. Oh yeah, we all knew kids like this. I had a lot of friends that were like that. You like the cooler girls? Cooler or flirty or easy? Or is the answer just yes? But no, I get what you mean. More the laid back, not so self conscious. I agree. Oh, Mr. Badass Pussy himself, Rob Dyer. Oh, so much potential for that character, and uh, jumping a little bit ahead here in regards to Rob Dyer, I pose a question to you guys out there watching. How far along, or how many days after the events of part two do you think that this is? Because I've heard different people say different things. I've heard people say it's just a couple days after, which it very well could be. But I've always, like, the more I think about it, with the way news traveled back then, you have to think this is 1984. The news wouldn't have gotten so quick back, and we would have to think like by the time like the events of part two, word gets back, it's probably a couple days. I would have to say it's at least a week, because we all know part three takes place almost immediately after part two, and maybe even like a day or two after. Um, but I would love to hear what your guys' theories are on that, because I used to think this all just part two was like on Friday or whatever. Part three was on a Saturday. Part four is on a Sunday, but it couldn't have been that quick. Back when you could just bring strangers home. Parts two, you think two, three, and four all take place over a week or so? Take all the day and night scenes. Yeah, I could see that. At the very most, 2 weeks, because it just don't know like Rob Dyer like with his sister, like how far away they lived, how long it took him to get there, especially since he was hiking. Yeah. And what this scene proves right here with Tommy is that he has way too much free time on his hands. Oh, fuck yeah, here it comes. Crispin's dance. Best dance in cinematic history. Screw Footloose. No, it's all about Crispin Glover in part four. You gotta move tonight. Love this song too. And there it is. God bless it. Right? It was a simpler time, man. Nowadays, like if you shot this movie today, all these people would be like on their cell phones, sitting there, not engaging with anybody. No cell phones, old vinyl. Yes, I am. I do have a hard on for vinyl. I love vinyl. But yeah, it's just a simpler time. Oh, I missed the epic want to give teddy bear a kiss. Oh yeah, there it is. I can hear the British accent now. Yes. From what I've heard, he was dancing to Back in Black by AC/DC. And when you go back and time it up, it actually his dancing is timed with the song and it fits. It's still a weird as fuck dance, but yeah, yeah. From everything I've heard, it was AC/DC's Back in Black. Why does Rob care if her parents get back together? I mean, seriously. I mean, I guess he's just being nice, but I mean, come on. Aw, how sweet. Nice little kiss on the cheek. Bye, Rob. Watch me. Do what I do. About don't be such a dead fuck. I will say, if we're talking about annoying characters, if even though I do like all the characters in here, yeah, an argument could be made for Sarah, but I'll give another argument here for George McFly. He does kind of get on my nerves. I think more so than Sarah. Uh-oh, double mint twin infringing on Sam's man here. Let's go for a little swim. I'm fucking up the lines left and right. I'm remembering different. I'm remembering them differently in my head. Teddy can get annoying. Yeah, I could see that too. I find him more more. God, I don't even know how to say it. Like sad, funny. Like he starts off kind of like cocky, annoying, but then you know because he keeps striking out with the ladies, he kind of becomes sad in a way, as we see here. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. Teddy getting so bent out of shape there. I mean, I guess young, immature, and all that sort of shit. But I mean, Paul has a girl, and plus he has a change of heart and goes after Sam. Probably would have been my. That's the opportunity I would have taken to move in. But you know, Teddy's the biggest wannabe. Yeah, he talks a lot of he talks a big game, but deep down, he doesn't have it. As evidenced by George McFly going off with the one girl, and he's left by himself watching old 1920s porno film reels. And there's Sam all by herself. This is shit that obviously it's a more innocent time. I don't know of anybody logically nowadays, especially with all these movies in real life, who would just wander off by themselves to a lake to just swim naked by themselves. Like you're just asking for it at that point. Yeah, she's swimming up to the raft. Hey, what's up, Win Smacky Dog Mac Daddy? That's not till the end, man. We're not there yet. Oh yeah, the atmosphere is great. The use of like no the restraint of not having music too in this scene. Screw you, Paul. Yeah, and we'll cut that. It's the little things in this movie that I don't know why I chuckle at, but the way she dies and is all like I don't know. I have a dark sense of humor. It's just funny. Is this the Friday the with the most nudity? I'm gonna say no. At when this film came out, I think it was. I think Part Five surpasses it. Um, and then I could be wrong. I don't know. For whatever reason, the remake or the reboot from 2009 feels like it has more nudity, but I think there's only like three characters that get topless. But I think it's just so prolonged and so much more. It feels like it's more. But I think Part Five has the most. Yeah, agreed, Francis. Oh, you're at your buddies, Mike. Jason X. No, man. Maybe down the road. Maybe if we go through some of these Friday the 13th, I would like to do watch alongs like this and go through all of them. Maybe we'll get to Jason X, but no, we'll get to the good ones first. George McFly about to get his freak on. Like she's so like dejected. It's a teddy bear. Give Teddy Bear a kiss. Oops. There we go. Hopefully I didn't get hit with a copyright there. Which one, Mike, has the most nudity? 5 and X are practically unwatchable, and not because of nudity. Yeah, I would gladly take Part 5 over X. I remember seeing X in theaters. Now X has the uh I don't know how to word it. It was the very first Friday the 13th Jason movie I saw in the theater, and unfortunately for me, I was so hyped to see it, and I walked out, and I walked out like bewildered. I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? And true story, Mike, who's in the chat right here, he was coming in with his brother to see it as I was walking out with one of my buddies. And he was asking, he was like, how is it? And I remember telling him, dude, it's dog shit. Like, don't go see it. And Paul catches a harpoon right to the balls. Bye bye, Paul. Jason X has the most nudity? You think so? I'm thinking, does the robot chick with the nipples that fall off count? Jason X is the best of the space horror slasher movies and much. I mean, yeah. If you're like Jason in space, Leprechaun in space, Pinhead in space, I mean, is it that old adage of kind of like being the nicest guy in prison? I mean, I guess on that curve, it's probably the better of them. Just as long as they don't send Freddy or Michael Myers into space. Man, if they ever did that, I'm done. And Rob sees that all his shit got jacked up. That makes me wonder, did Jason know? Or was he just like, why didn't he fucking try to kill Rob right then and there? It's like he's just fucking with him. Like he just walks through and is like, no, your stuff's done. I'm bending it, and then I'll get you later. Oh, the girls from the hologram thing from 1980. Yeah, there's those. So there's two, and then nippleless robot. I guess we'll count that. Then was there another one? I know there was the couple that was screwing in their room when Jason comes in and stabs the one. Wrecking a right. Yeah, that definitely takes some strength to do that. That shit is not. It's it's not easy. It's not like that shit's easily bendable. I love that Teddy calls that woman on the movie like a little pig. She's not that bad. I mean, she's a little thick. I guess maybe for the '80s that was being a pig, but nothing wrong with being a little thick. Oh yeah, there's more of that beautiful British accent. I'm gonna leave without you. Take an umbrella. I'd like to see him wearing anything else. Yeah, they really put him in the drabbest of clothes. Like even for like that's even conservative, ultra conservative by 80s standards. Did he punch it yet? You slut. Double mint, death. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're past that part. Yeah, he punched the bear. So we're at the one double mint twin just uh got impaled, and now Sarah and her man, or Sarah's basically saying she's gonna give it up to her man. In her ultra shy virgin way. Good night, teddy bear. Yeah, George is gonna get his here soon. Now I can't remember. Is it okay? Yeah. Oh, so now the mom comes home. Mom gets it here, which I always felt bad too. She don't deserve it. I mean, none of them really do in this movie. Like, you don't really feel happy about people getting killed until the later films. Um, but I'm trying to remember the order of events. So it goes the mom, and then is it George, and then the double mint twin, or is it the twin and then George? I mean, I guess we'll see here in a second. And just a quick time code. We are at zero. We're basically at 54 minutes 33 seconds into the movie. Just a little over a half hour left. And we're at this scene. Okay, so it goes twin, George, twin. Okay. Man, Jason teleports in all of them. It's his superpower. Haven't you played the video game? And bye, Mom. God, everything is like so. So now we're in the bedroom with the Virgin as she's getting ready. Like, it is such like a 80s Virgin type of thing. Like, everything is so dramatic. I gotta look just right. I gotta look this way, and like it reminds me of like the opening to Grease in the cartoon version, like, or the cartoon opening, where like Sandy has like all like the friggin' birds and shit carrying her robe or whatever. That's what that reminds me of. Random, I know. But that's what it reminds me of. And again, just the atmosphere in this, the lighting, the cinematography. It's so good. It's so good. Like watching this back now, I haven't watched these movies in a minute. It's been a little while. Uh Part 6 is my favorite, but man, I have to say the direction and the lighting and everything in this movie is probably the best. It's definitely creeping on my favorite. It's so moody. And there we get Tina walking up to Rob's tent. You just re watched 1 through 4 last night. Nah, it's good shit, man. I always love binging these movies on Friday the 13th. I don't think I'll be able to do it this year. I may watch one more after I get off the stream here. But what's going on, Yenis? Welcome aboard. How are you doing? And Rob slices open the tent, scares the shit out of Trish. Do you think she knew that was Rob's tent, or was this one of those things where they just are like, we'll just have her wander into the woods and she stumbles across the tent to get out of the rain? I mean, I guess she knew Rob was in the area, so I guess she just kind of inferred. But I mean, it could have been anybody. Yes, you were, George. You were a dead fuck. And if you weren't before, you're gonna be one here very soon. Oh, your name is Jose? No, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Glad you could stop in and chill and watch some Jason with us. Or if you don't own the movie, at least listen listen to us talk about it. And there goes George handing over the panties to Teddy. Those look huge for the type of girl that. Oh, maybe not. They always looked so much bigger. Corkscrew for the wine bottle. Ted. Here it comes. It's a corkscrew. Right here. And goodbye. Oh, he got the corkscrew. All right, Mike, your favorite is part 7. I knew that. I knew we had the same top 3. They're just in different orders. I didn't know part 3 was that high on your list. Yeah, I knew for sure. I knew your bottom 3 were the reboot and then X and Jason Goes to Hell. Yeah, we definitely are not fans of those. And there she goes. She's eliminated from the Royal Rumble. Boom. And here we get Rob's backstory with uh, him saying his sister Sandra from part 2 was murdered. And so he's there to get revenge. So the 2 people from the hospital are missing. Did Jason just drag them all the way to the lake? Like, they didn't find them? It's coming for you. Death is coming for you. Jose, is that your real name or are you Crazy Ralph? Is this just a Crazy Ralph burner account? I do have to say, rewatching these movies now, after playing that Friday the 13th video game so much, it's amazing how uh, detailed for the time that they made these locations. Like they did a really good job with part 4 in that game. Oh, and there's Sarah getting it on with her man in the shower, signing her own death warrant. Oh, you're using your mom's accounts to watch YouTube? All right. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Pools of blood. Unless Jason went back through with a mop and just cleaned that shit all up like Norman Bates style. Like, they should have been easy to find. Like I said, unless he pulled like a Michael Myers and just threw him in a car and then just drove to Crystal Lake. I don't know. I don't know how you explain that one. Teddy bear kiss. I'm gonna die. Friday the 13th, like the movie. Maybe like Teddy here. Is that how I'm gonna go? Yeah, I don't. And for as long as he does, I mean, he has to be high as shit watching that. That's the only way you find that so funny. Because I mean, I will admit, watching it at first, it'd probably be a little funny, but after a while, it just gets old. Like, okay, what else are we doing? It was definitely like porn for the time. Uh, I'm not sure what the technical name for it was. I don't know if they actually had like full on sex in those, but yes, Rip Teddy. Jason gave him a kiss to the back of his head with a knife. Teddy, Rip. A friggin' giant sized hair dryer, 80s hair dryer. Uh oh. Dude's alone in the shower. Light just got turned off. Almost as terrifying as 70s porn. Yes, dude, that bush is traumatizing. 70s bush is traumatizing. They started getting it right in the 80s, but even then it was still a little out of control sometimes. Polly, whoops. Drop the bar of soap, old buddy. Why don't you come here with me, old pal? Ho, 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 ho. Get fucked. And peace out. Hey, Winnie, give Jeremy some slack. He hasn't seen these movies. I told him he needs to check them out. God, this house had to have been like repainted or something like that in this movie. It looks so rushed, and it looks kind of gross at times. And Sarah finds her man dead. And goodbye. I'm probably showing the parts that I shouldn't be showing, but whatever. If I get hit with a copyright, fuck it. Fuck it at this point. This is just for fun. All that suspenseful Jason music, and it's just pussy Rob. How did he throw an axe through the door like that? Well, he also did bend a gun, but that was probably such a cheap ass door, judging by how cheap it looked like the paint job was inside. Yeah. A typical door though, like a heavy duty thick door, yeah, there's no way an axe is just flying through that. But it does make for an awesome kill. And now Trish and Rob go over to the house. And here's a mistake, and a pretty famous one. There's no body there outside the door when they walk up. They just walk right up. But later on, when Trish is trying to run out to escape, there's a body laying there. But this whole time, Jason theoretically is in the basement. So unless he like quickly like ducked out one of like the cellar windows and just slid a body over, then ducked back in. I always loved this part too. This is like genuinely like a really creepy, scary moment. I shouldn't say scary, but tense. Where they're just going through the house and it's just dark, and the film projector is just going, and then all of a sudden the power goes out. It's just, again, so dark and moody. Like, I love it. Rob, what the Rob's little pussy ass pocket knife. The hell is he gonna do? Oh, what happens with Gordon? Yeah, you don't see him. He jumps out that window coming up here, and he's just gone for the rest of the movie. I'm gonna say he lives. He just ran away. He got scared and ran away because we don't see a body. So, and these movies are not above killing animals and showing them. Obviously, Muffin from Part Two. Is it implied that Jason kills Gordon? No, the Gordon just runs and jumps out the window. Here, I'll try to show it here. Yeah, see, he jumps out the window because dog. Yes, because dog. It's the only smart one. They needed to listen to the dog. The dog's like, fuck this. Something ain't right. I'm out. You got dogs doing dog things. You got white people doing white things where they just like to, oh, something spooky. I'll go investigate it further. It's, it's like, no, just get the fuck out of there. And we see Tommy flipping through newspaper clippings, getting his first look at Jason. Looks like a potato, a moldy potato. Trish creeping up to the bathroom. And she sees blood from the shower. All right, man, take it easy. You're not going to chill for the rest of the movie? It's only like basically 16 minutes left. Jason loves his spikes to the wall. Tommy's such a disappointment, number 5. Tommy had a lot of potential in part 5, and yeah, I agree. Kind of disappointing. Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go. Favorite part. Favorite part. Oh, 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 he's killing me. Oh, he's killing me. Oh, it's so bad. He doesn't even attempt to fight back. He just stands there and takes it like a bitch. You tell him, Fly. This is the guy who got me into Friday the 13th, and he can't stay here for the last, like, 15 minutes of this movie. Trish goes to leave, and Jason rips up through the stairs. She goes. I'm surprised she didn't chop his hand off. She goes fucking ham on him with it. There's the body laying there. When did that happen? And there's George McFly, nailed up like Jesus, in the doorway blocking Trish. It kills me how long it takes her to get through that window. She like takes her time getting through that window where it's like, bitch, just move. Is he here? Yes, Santa, he's here. I don't know what the hell she's pounding it into. That's where we're at. But yeah, when she's hammering that door, she's just pounding nails into the door. It's not going to nail it shut. And Rob coming in hot. Jason looking through the window. Yeah, that just happened. Yeah. Okay. This part coming up here. I'll show it to you, then I'll explain it. It's really funny. And if Mike is still here, he can attest to it. Right here. So, funny story. When I first saw this when I was little, I was probably like 6 years old. Me and Mike, we used to think that there were two Jasons. This is how dumb we were. So, Jason number one comes through the window and grabs Tommy and is struggling, trying to get him. Trish hits him with the hammer. And we thought once he gets hit with the hammer, he is like out. And then there's another Jason that comes in and goes through the rest of the movie because Jason number one got hurt. And Jason number two is the one that just comes running through the door. I don't know why we thought that, but that's what we thought. Yeah. Oh, being a kid and not really understanding or grasping things completely. There comes Jason just chopping through the door. Fucking Shining style. And bam! Yes, exactly, like a tag team. Like this Jason is just tagged out, the new one comes in, the fresher one. Like again, I don't know why we thought that. Like it was the one Jason throughout the entire movie, and then for whatever reason we're like, oh, it's a new one that just comes in. Because the other one got hurt. Now I know she doesn't have like another weapon on her, but this is where I would have tried to find anything and start stabbing the shit out of him with it. Oh, nope, missed with the axe. See? Think about it, Fly. That's how he teleports. There's two of them. That's like that meme. Like, Now, don't get me wrong. I love me some zombie Jason. Part 7's my favorite actual Jason. But I love the way Jason moves in this. And there goes Trish right out the window. Jason and his brother Jerry. The lesser known Voorhees, Jerry. He actually does he does accounting. He just helps his brother Jason as a side hustle. Jason calls him up like, "Hey man, we got some teens trespassing here on Crystal Lake. You got to come help me out." Jerry's like, "All right. All right, I'll be there soon." I always wondered what the thought process was for Tommy here to try to make himself look like Jason to confuse him and how he came to that like idea. Unless he was just desperate trying to think of anything that would work. But I mean, it's pretty lucky guess. But as we've seen from part 2, Jason isn't above being duped. Ooh, Jason takes it right to the hand. He should have been the new killer in 5, would have made sense. I mean, that's what they were going for. Um, that's what they were setting up. But the poor reception to part 5, they nixed that for part 6. And there goes Jason trying to strangle and fondle, and almost rape Trish. And that's where we're at. Yeah, it's definitely a different but similar callback to part 2 with Ginny pretending to be Jason's mom to dupe him. But this one I almost find like extra. Like it goes even further. Like Jason's getting duped by himself. Not that I don't like it. It's just weird. And there goes the mask. Halloween 4 ripped off Friday the Replacement Killer. Yeah. Yeah, I'll agree. But both franchises didn't have the balls to actually follow through with it. Could have been a hero. Entrance in the barn basically flicked away. And Tommy just delivered the money shot. Down goes Jason. Well, remember, it's not Jason, it's Roy. Part 4 is the best, also part 6. I agree. Part 6 is my personal favorite, but they're both like right here. And welcome, Space Ace. Better late than never. We're almost to the end. How long? Yeah, and especially with those little cheap ass like Bic razors, there would have been no way. Uh-oh. Jason's little pinky's moving. And now Tommy's just goes all fuck yo couch on Jason. Tommy! Tommy's the only one to do what everybody should have done from the jump. Just chop the shit out of him. And there's Trish. Oh, agreed. Yeah, one of the best endings in the franchise. Again, I'm such a stan for part six. I love Jason being chained to the bottom of the lake in part six, but this I would probably put right there. Oh yeah, Tommy definitely has some Jason in him. I think there was a real missed opportunity also with not bringing back Trish for part five. And obviously they couldn't use Corey Feldman because he was, I think, immensely popular at the time doing other films. But and that is all she wrote. That was Friday the 13th, part four. Movie moves really well. I was shocked. It felt like we just started this damn thing and it's already over with. I remember when movies used to just be 90 minutes long. I wish they would start going back to that. None of this like 2.5 hour bullshit. Nobody has time for that anymore. Oh, no problem. Thanks for stopping by. I definitely had a lot of fun doing this, and we'll have to do this again soon. I would hopefully, fingers crossed, if I have the time, I want to do one at the end of the month for Halloween and actually watch one of the Halloween movies. Yeah, that death curse almost got Tommy, but Tommy bested it. But yeah, it's crazy to think just how I don't know. This movie's just still it still holds up after all these years, and just for a simple slasher flick, uh, and especially in regards to Friday the 13th, it's a lot of people consider it the best, and it's up there for me. Like I said, Part Six is my favorite, but it's 1A and 1B. Which Halloween? The old one? Well, those are the only good ones. Oh no, no, we're not gonna watch Evil Dies tonight. I don't. For the record, I don't mind Halloween Kills. I can't do Evil Dies tonight. Um, I haven't decided which Halloween we'll watch. Um, I haven't decided if we would do the original or maybe like part two. I'll think about it here, but I'll definitely post it and let all you guys know when we'll do it. Okay, best kill in this movie besides Jason's. Which one do I think is the best kill? Um, that's a good question. I mean, I'm gonna take Rob's out of it because that's just silliness. Uh, I'll say I'll say George McFly, the corkscrew, and then getting the meat cleaver to the face. I think that one's the best and my favorite kill. Yeah. What's yours? You love the new trilogy? The more time I spend with the new Halloween trilogy, uh, I like it. I really like the 2018 movie. I like Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. My only issue with Halloween Ends is that it doesn't feel like a great conclusion to uh, that story. It feels like the start of something new. Maybe if they had introduced Corey and Kills and expanded it more there, it would have felt more natural. But you know, so be it. Yes, you did. Oh, the shower. Yeah, the face crunch in the shower. That's a good one. Yeah, he's killing me. My God, Rob. He's for being so like Mr. Brawny Man. I'm gonna come in here and save the day, and then just to go down into the basement and then just literally he's not doing anything to stop Jason. He's just standing there, just letting him swing. I mean, come on, do something. Yeah, that was I don't know what they were thinking there. I guess, they were just thinking a body count and we got to get the body count up there, but I mean they could have had him fight back a little bit. I mean, shit. He goes out like such a bitch. George is the best kill. Yeah. All right, Francis, you take care. We're going to be wrapping up the stream here anyway. Well, thank you for everybody that stopped by and chilled and watched some Jason with us. Definitely got to do this again. I would love to actually go through all the Friday the 13th movies like this and watch them with you guys. But the next one we may do probably Halloween at the end of the month. We'll get a Halloween stream going. So I'll let you guys know when that's gonna be. Francis, take care. Fly, take care. Space, thanks for stopping in. Like I said, better late than never. Uh, those damn enchiladas. Yes, fucking demon in those enchiladas. But all right, guys, take it easy. Have a happy Friday the 13th. The rest of your Friday the 13th, if it's still there for you guys, if it's still on Friday, throw on another Jason movie and, you know, just have fun for the rest of the night. Because that's what I'm going to do. Jumping off of here, going to get dinner going, and then I'm just going to watch some Jason and then go to bed. So, you vote for Halloween, the original Halloween too? Okay, I may put it up as a vote on the channel. So, look out for that. Anyways, if you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I'll see you the next time. This was a lot of fun. And take care. Take it easy, guys.